Welcome brave souls to our channel, where the darkness of the night meets the unknown. Our channel is your gateway to the world of the macabre and the supernatural. Each day, we'll delve into the darkest corners of human existence, exploring stories that will send shivers down your spine. I have 3 horror stories to share that may give you a good scare. Number 1. Headhunter. A family of 4, 2 young children and their parents, were traveling on the road to a picnic when their car broke down. The parents went out to look for help and left the radio on for the kids in case they got bored. By nightfall, the parents still hadn't returned. Sat in the darkness, the children continued to listen to the radio and grew alarmed when they heard that a dangerous killer was on the loose, having escaped from a prison nearby. The newsreader warned listeners to take extreme care when going about their business. Time passed and the children waited. The silence outside the car was absolute until, suddenly, they heard knocking on the car roof above them. The knocks grew louder and faster. Unable to bear it any longer, the children opened the car doors and fled in terror. Only the eldest dared to turn to see the source of their fear. On top of the car was a large man, who was bouncing 2 objects on the top of the vehicle, the heads of the children's parents. Number 2. Have you been up to check the kids? A teenage girl was asked to babysit for a family that lived in a huge, luxurious house. It was her first evening on the job and, after she put the children to bed upstairs, she sat down in front of the TV. But no sooner had she settled there than the phone rang. The caller was a man. Gasping and laughing menacingly, he asked, "Have you been up to check the children?" The babysitter hung up, convinced that her friends were playing a joke on her, but the man called again, and again he asked, "Have you been up to check the children?" Again, she hung up, now frightened, but the man called a 3rd time. "This time," he said, "I've taken care of the kids, now I'm coming for you." By now, the babysitter was truly terrified. She called the police and reported the calls. The police told her to try to distract the man the next time he phoned to give them time to trace the call. As expected, the man called back. The babysitter begged him to leave her alone, thus keeping him on the line for longer. Eventually, he hung up. Immediately, the phone rang again. This time, it was the police. "Leave the house fast. The calls are coming from upstairs." Number 3. The lost keys. John bolted upright, bathed in cold sweat. A glance at the clock revealed 3 a.m. Panic surged through him. He'd forgotten his car keys on the kitchen table after a late dinner with friends. Debating whether to retrieve them now or wait until morning, he heard his voice, his own words, emanating from the bedroom. "Don't go, that's not me." Terror seized him. He was alone in the bedroom, and the voice was unmistakably his. Slowly, he stepped into the hallway, listening for any sound, any clue. Moonlight illuminated the kitchen table with his keys. He reached for them when his voice spoke again, more urgently. "I said, don't go." His heart pounded. Something was mimicking him. Panic compelled him to abandon the keys, rushing back to his bedroom and slamming the door shut. He locked it and turned on the lights, waiting in dread. Hours passed, and the voice didn't return. In the light of day, the incident felt like a bizarre dream. But the memory gnawed at him. Something in his home had sounded like him and urged him not to go to the kitchen. The car keys, innocent on the table, served as a haunting reminder of the inexplicable presence that had whispered in the dark. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.